Good evening and welcome to Cigar Sundays. I am Chef Earl Pearl at DBCHEFTV, always joined by the illustrious Cigarden Panel with at I am Jazz Garcelle and the God Ali Dawood L at BK Soul Farm. If you are just joining us this evening, or this your first time to the channel and you back, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Also hit the notification bell so when we go live, you never miss an episode of Cigar Sundays live. Peace, Jazz. What's going on? We lost the
Hey,
God.
hey, what's up? Just school's out for the summer. I'm glad. I'm happy. I mean, I'll be doing the summer school thing, in a few weeks. But for now, I'm just chilling, focusing on my music and relaxing, maxing, relaxing, you know, grinding.
That's what's up. Peace, God. How
Yeah,
you happy Father's Day?
yeah. Happy Father's Day, Ali. Happy Father's Day.
Thank you. Peace. Happy Father's Day to
Hmm.
all the dads out there doing their thizzle. Is
Absolutely.
much needed.
Yes.
Everybody got to play their part and stay in their lane and do what is required. Now, I just you know what I be doing. Bro. I be playing in the dirt, right? Like I've been having a lot of rain down here all week, so like the farm been wet. Um, had a couple tragedies, but it's okay. It's how I go on the farmland. But yeah, we
Yeah.
just pushing through.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that on the news. It was y'all got soaked pretty significantly down there a little bit. It was a little
Yeah, the
soaking.
flooding.
Got a little wet. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the start of hurricane season, so it's to be expected, right? So now it's just a matter of just doing better, just cleaning up and just you know planting the right crops, right in the right spot, right? Things that can tolerate the water, right? Because it's gonna be wet.
Cause it's gonna be wet. It's gonna get wet when it rains.
Right.
That's
When it rains, I guess it pours in some places, as they
Yeah,
say.
yeah.
But stay safe.
definitely.
Of course.
Yep. So y'all know how we do, man. We another episode of Cigar Sundays. Um,
Yeah.
Tonight we talking about ignorance. Is it bad? Is it good? Is it misunderstood? And rewarding or disappointing? That's something I wanted us to key in on. Um, the value of ignorance or the or the lack thereof of any value of ignorance. And y'all know how we do. We go to the definition
Right. Right.
and then we break it down. So
Hmm.
without any further delay, we're gonna go ahead and go into the definition.
All right.
So let's pull this up. So we got ignorance. What is ignorance? Well, according to Google,
Good
ignorance,
old Google.
good old Google, right? A lack of knowledge or information.
Correct.
Okay. Then, of course, we're going to go to our second source, which is Merriam Webster.
Miriam. What you say, Miriam?
The state or fact of being ignorant, lack of knowledge, education, or awareness. Okay. And then we also have to go to we have to go to Wikipedia. We always check it. Let me bring up the wiki right quick. Let's see, wiki. Let's go Wikipedia. Oh, I could have just typed it in right there. Okay. Let's see what they have. So Wikipedia has ignorance is a lack of knowledge or understanding. Deliberate ignorance is a culturally induced phenomenon, the study of which is called agnotology. Did I say that right? Agnotology. The word ignorant is an adjective that describes a person in the state of being unaware or even cognitive dissonance and other cognitive relation, and can describe individuals who are unaware of important information or facts. Ignorance can appear in three different types: factual ignorance, which is the absence of knowledge of some fact; object ignorance, unacquaintance with some object; and technical ignorance, in the absence of knowledge of how to do something.
That's interesting because all those different sort of mini definitions of ignorance, depending on what exactly you're talking about. I like that it breaks it down like that. I've never seen it broken down like that, so that's cool.
That's what's up. And then we'll go back to the Merriam-Webster to hit the thesaurus, so we can get that perspective. Definition of ignorance, according to the thesaurus, is a state of being unaware, uninformed. Is there a two? As in illiteracy.
Oh.
A state of being unlearned. Okay. And then we see all the similarities, the synonyms. There's the innocence, unawareness, cluelessness, naivety, even greenness. Wow. There's an unsophistication.
Yeah, it's interesting.
There's an unsophistication, callousness, incognizance.
Incognizance. Wow.
Yeah.
Simpleness.
Incognizance. Okay. Inexperience, unsophistication, simpleness.
Unfamiliarity.
And all of these are associated with being ignorant. So we not there yet. It's still early. So we still got we have illiteracy, stupidity, dumbness, foolishness, imbecility, functional illiteracy, brainlessness, mindlessness, senselessness. What is this? Philistinium?
Idiocy. Idiocity.
Oh wow, I'm gonna have to learn that one right there. That's a new word right there.
Is it definitely some SAT words?
You know, we're gonna have to definitely go and research that one. Mindlessness and witlessness, and innumeracy. So where do we see this? That's something right there. I'm ignorant to that word right there. I lack the knowledge of this
Which one?
This philistinism.
Oh yeah, I've never heard that. I've never seen that. Yeah.
I don't even know how to enunciate.
Yeah, how to pronounce it right.
Somebody could call me that, and I'd be like, "What you say to me?"
Like, what you talking about? What does that mean?
I don't even know.
What you call me?
I'm cool with Phil. What you mean?
Phil is my dude.
All right. So ignorance, that's our word. Where y'all want to go with it, family?
Ignorant. Well, ignorant. Where'd Ali go?
Right here.
People, especially I think in the Black community, I know we use that word. Sometimes you be clowning, sometimes you're, just being serious and say they're so ignorant. Or you could just be like, man, you so ignorant. Or why you gotta be so ignorant? Like, just joking or, just clowning with your friends, whatever. But truth be told, when you talk about ignorance, and especially looking at those definitions, it's kind of saying somebody isn't too bright or, not the sharpest tool in the shed, as they say. Yeah, kind of like a way of saying you're dumb. But you never want to say that to somebody. I mean, it depends on the situation, but like ignorance, it can be, isn't there a saying, ignorance is bliss?
There is a
Yeah,
saying that ignorance is bliss. There is
right.
sister-in-law, what up? There is a saying that ignorance is bliss. Absolutely is a saying that ignorance is bliss.
I think, I'm sorry.
And Google actually pointed that out. I bring that back up right quick.
Okay. Yeah, because I've heard that phrase many a times.
Right here, Google brought this up. Phrases where ignorance is bliss. If you do not know about something, you don't worry about it.
Oh, I see.
Okay.
It's true. Like sheep to the slaughter.
Ooh,
right?
Sheep to the slaughter.
Like they don't know they're going there. They don't worry about it.
Oh, I see. Right. So you're just ignorant to the fact that something's going to happen to you. Right. So if it's not, you don't know about it, doesn't matter, or it's irrelevant to you.
But that's where these things fall in: the unawareness, the unconsciousness,
Right.
the unintelligence, the mindlessness, the dumbness, the dopiness, the brainlessness, the denseness. But the opposite of those things are knowledge of ignorance is knowledge and education.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
Okay. And that's what let's see right here. Let's go over here right here. What does it mean when someone is ignorance?
That they lack knowledge, that they don't know something.
Lack knowledge and understanding. Okay.
Right. Maybe they don't comprehend what you're trying to tell them, or even you're having a conversation and they aren't grasping what you're talking about. Doesn't mean they're stupid. They just don't understand, or they're not quite getting it,
So interesting in Merriam-Webster's, right? Look at the thesaurus for ignorance, and you look at the antonyms, and like you said, is learning, is education, is literacy, is knowledge, training, is instruction, right?
Right.
So depending on how you look at the word education, right? Depending on how you look at the word knowledge, those things could seem like a goal obtained already, like you are educated, you are knowledgeable, or you can look at it as a process that's needed, right? Because when in respect to ignorance, somebody is ignorant of a particular thing. That thing is dangerous to them, and they choose to remain ignorant of it, right?
And they choose to remain ignorant of it.
Right, because basically, no, you're completely right about that, because especially today, 2024. Not saying that everything on the internet is true or correct, but we basically have our little computers in our hands, our phones, and we could research anything, go to medical journals or whatever source of information we choose, and we could find out about anything from how to cook a steak the right way. Of course I would ask my bro, or
Fact,
you know
facts. But that's a good point though,
some
right?
sort of history, anything. What?
That's a good point what you're talking about, because like we do have our phones in our
You don't
hands.
have to be right. You don't have to necessarily have to be ignorant. You can learn, and I mean, obviously, you could ask somebody that has knowledge, or that has insight, or that's years ahead of you in life, or what have you.
Yeah,
To
but what
learn
I'm saying,
something.
yeah, but what I'm saying is though, like we have our phones in our hands, we have the computers in our hands, and there's a lot of misinformation out there as well.
Oh
And
yeah, true.
when a person is truly ignorant and they pick up their phone and they search on their own without the knowledge of how to search, without the understanding, without being trained on how to research, on how to think critically, like how to solve their problem, and they just type in uh, Donald Trump 34 charges president, and whatever comes up, right? And now that is their education, when in fact that's only information, right? That has to be mulled over, right? It has to be compared to other information, right? It has to be talked about. It has to be. It shouldn't be actionable because you went from no knowledge to some information. If you act
Hmm.
now, that's crazy. That is not wise. That is the opposite of wisdom, right? That is rash, right? It'd have been better had you not known, right? Because it'd have been safer for everybody else.
I think that's limited to that particular example you gave, God.
Right,
Um,
I
Definitely.
agree.
because like if it's to change a tire and they just do a simple search, you
Right.
know, like don't be sitting at home not knowing how to change a tire and it's 1,000 videos on YouTube that
Yeah, because
now
nobody's doing that. We all got AAA.
now now knowing to actually type in what type of vehicle you have,
Right. Or
that
what
may
type of
be
tires?
where
Yeah.
the knowing how to research it actually is applied. Like I can't just say
Hmm.
how to change a tire, like now I can say how to tie a shoe, right? How to
Correct.
brush my teeth. So
Right. Yeah.
it is like limited to the actual area of research, just for clarity. Like, but you're absolutely right. Like you can't just going to look up Donald Trump stuff and you haven't done, or any political person, anything that has
Any political
more
anything.
substance. Yeah, it has more substance. Like,
It-
for the people
yeah.
who watching who can't figure that out without us saying it, you know,
Right. Of course. But any
you know,
topic
yeah,
is,
for people who,
Googleable.
yeah, because it could be general, but that's not a general thing. That's
Yeah, no, that's not general.
specific.
Yo,
Um,
God. Yo, look at your process, right? Like you pulled up every Sunday, you pull up a word and you look up at least three different sources, and
Right, exactly.
you run through all a reference material for each source, and we build on it, right? Like we're not saying one of these things is right or wrong, right? We saying we come in here to build on information to gain better knowledge so we can have better understanding. We saying that these words are either bad, good, or misunderstood, and we trying to figure it out.
Facts. But um I'm also a person who is not an excuse maker.
Yeah, you're a problem solver.
Okay, I don't take shortcuts either. You know,
Right.
I'm
Yeah.
also somebody. So like, yes, for me, you know what I'm saying, God, we can go back and forth about how we roll all the time. You know what I mean? But I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like right back at you. You feel me?
Yeah.
But at the same time, like it's somebody who watching who not gonna get it unless we break it down to the most smallest to we unless we make it remedial. And I'm understanding
Yeah.
that because people are
Yeah.
okay with being ignorant about things.
Oh yeah. I mean,
People
nobody
are
knows
okay.
everything.
People
You
are
know.
okay with not doing that due diligence that you speak of to actually look further, to say, okay, well, this is what's on the surface. All right. And
Yeah.
this surface thing can work for me, but then like, it's like I give an example. There's a huge ignorance that's allowed when people buy homes. Okay. It's
Isn't
perpetuated.
that? I'm not trying to say like, but isn't that? I mean, not completely, but like the
No,
real
completely.
realtor is there to help a little bit. But I know what you're saying. Like, you need to know what you're doing as the person that's buying the house as well.
I mean, well, I'm correlating it to what Ali was saying as far as like the research, right? Like most people stop at, am I qualified to get a mortgage? And they
Right,
don't
like their
do
credit score
anything
and all
but
that.
the
Yeah.
knowledge. And they look at what they making right now, but have no idea that that is not going to stay the same forever. But the way it's presented is as it is. But only one portion of it will. The loan from the bank gonna stay the same, but the taxes and the insurance ain't. Okay.
Right.
So therefore, your total mortgage is not going to stay the same throughout the duration of the 30 years or your
And
15 years loan.
there's no way that, well, I guess you can just pay your mortgage payment and don't pay your taxes. And that's crazy.
No, you can't.
I don't think
No,
you
you
can.
can't. No, you cannot. Not in
Yeah, they
America,
got
you cannot.
escrows. You got
You don't pay the
escrows.
taxes, it's gone. If America hasn't realized anything by now, we're gonna tell you on Cigar Sundays casually. You don't
Yo,
own shit. Okay.
100%
Well,
facts.
you
But at the
bursting
same
some
time,
bubbles.
You don't
you
own
wouldn't
shit.
not want to not pay your taxes and insurance anyway, right? Because somebody put a lien on your joint and they buy your, like, it's,
I mean, I'm all in. And that's why we're not gonna do it ignorantly. And
yeah.
and whatever it takes, we want to be rewarded. Like ignorance is disappointing to me. Ignorance is bad to me. Like I'll make an early judgment on it already. It's bad. It's horrible. Matter of fact, it's tacky. It's disgusting. It ain't cool. It's funky. It's nasty. That's how I look at ignorance all day. Like ignorant shit ain't cool to me. I don't be impressed or I don't giggle when I see ignorant shit. You know what I'm saying? It don't excite me
Right, definitely not.
at the end of the day because somebody gonna get hurt. If somebody is not benefiting, and if they just took the time, it would be more rewarding for them, in my opinion. In my opinion, no matter what the situation is, because we always learning. Once you stop learning, then you know what I'm saying. Then what you know everything, then you just what? But we always
Right,
got
know
to
it
keep
all.
learning, like because it's because things are ever changing.
Exactly. The world is evolving, and so is everything else in it.
I don't know about the evolve part, but I know it's changing.
Okay.
But,
That's the
but
Let
next.
me just keep
society
my
is going
word to
forward.
myself. Let me just keep my word to myself.
No, it's cool, Jazz. Like that's what we do on here. Don't be Don't be. It's gonna be something I'm gonna say. You might not think it's changing. It's evolving either because looking at evolve under now we assuming right. We can go look up
Yeah.
evolve, but I'm thinking evolve means gets better with time.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
you know, and I'm seeing
I don't think that.
you know,
Hold
they
on. Let me just look this
execute.
up really quick since we're talking about
I think
Yeah.
evolve means like it adapts with time. Whatever the environment needs is what you become. I guess I kind of think it's like a self-licking ice cream, right? Like you like garbage in, garbage out kind of thing.
I don't know. We gotta look up the word so we could be precise.
Yeah.
You know what it say, Jazz? What's evolve?
Evolve definition. Emit. But hold on.
To gradually become clear or more detailed. That's what I'm getting over here.
That's better.
Yeah, to produce or by natural evolutionary
Processes.
process. Yeah, undergo evolutionary change.
To develop, to work out. So when we develop things
And work out, so it gotta be better to improve. Yeah.
So it isn't necessarily well, it is kind of positive. It is.
Synonyms are develop, elaborate, unfold. You know, so I'm looking at evolution is getting better. Okay, here we go. Synonyms are grow, develop, progress, emerge, mature, blossom, ripen, materialize, advance, play out. So
yeah, I wouldn't now that I'm looking at it and studying it, I don't necessarily think the world is evolving. Maybe changing, definitely, but evolve wasn't the right word. Not for the world, no.
not for this world.
I see play out. I see materialize.
I love the word though. It's just so fancy. Not for this situation though.
Yeah.
We see progress. We see growth.
Yeah, there's some growth, you know. Little by little, day by day, you know, certain things.
As a whole,
no,
yeah,
it'll take a long time for the whole, like everything to be.
Let me say this. We can nitpick the shit out of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And collectively agree where we see the things that do, and then collectively disagree on the things that we don't see that apply. But as a whole, we're not evolving.
Right. No, I don't agree.
Where's the progress?
I mean, I do agree we aren't evolving.
Where's the growth?
Right.
Like people becoming more ignorant and uncomfortable with ignorance. That's what we talking about now. People comfortable with being ignorant about stuff. I don't need to know this. I don't need to know that. All I want is this.
Right. And
all
just
I want is
even
that.
I remember how you said even the way that we do our well, you pull up our definition every week. I remember and obviously it's different generation, different time. When I was in school, we had the Merriam-Webster, the dictionary, and those encyclopedias that we had to pull out to do like a book report or something. You know, we had to like really, really research with the book, and you know, like it was a lot of work, a lot more than today. You know, and handwriting our, you know, the what's the part at the end, the index and the citations, who you got your information from. And it's like now kids can just put their topic in ChatGPT and there's no work, you know, like, so I just feel like I'm grateful that I was born in this time, and you know, whenever that I was able to know how or learn to do research in that way. And of course along the way in college and through life, learn how to do research on the internet that way as well, because, it is a process. There's millions of searches, millions of different sites where you can get definitions and information on anything you want to. So, ignorance is bliss, but at the same time, why would you want to be in that bliss when you can have the opportunity to research and to find out what it is you need to, so that you're not ignorant anymore about whatever.
Is it limited?
Huh?
Is ignorance limited to subjects? So
yeah, it can be, definitely, because definitely, it sure is.
Why?
I would say because you can be ignorant to the fact, like, okay, I was watching women's basketball this morning, WNBA, right? I prefer watching basketball because I understand it better. I understand, the rules and whatever a little bit more than football. When it comes to football, I'm ignorant. I don't know the rules and the first downs and the three, catch and whatever it is, all the terminology. But I'm all right with that. So in that case, ignorance is bliss. It's not a big deal.
But what you're saying is that you're making a choice to say I don't want to learn any more about it. Right. And that's right. And that's why I'm saying that people choose to do that. But then say you should accept my ignorance. But that's your choice, choosing to stay ignorant about it, though.
So hold on. So I'm saying that it's also limited to certain subjects, and to use Sister Jazz example of basketball and football. I agree.
And I'm a woman too, but I don't think that really has anything to do with it.
No, that's not my that's not my point. Yeah, that's not my point at all. I agree that ignorance being bliss in your situation of simply watching football for the entertainment of socializing with friends or wherever you watch it, right? I think it is dangerous if you place a bet.
Oh yeah, in that case, of course. Yeah, if you're ignorant to the rules and all that and the way it works, you definitely would be dumb. It would be ignorant. It would be dumb. It would be ignorant to place a bet on something you don't know all the rules about. You don't know the probability of whether they're going to score a touchdown, who's the best player, who's going to get the running, whatever it is, the touchdown and whatever.
That's why I say your example was a good one, because you can, because it's situational and depends on how important the thing is to you, right? Like,
of course.
A sheep, going off to slaughter could have made peace with the fact that it's a sheep and it's a meat animal, right? And that just, he could have just like, yo, you know what? I done lived a good life. I done ate as much that I could eat. I done made some babies. Right now, it's just my time. Right, and that's cool for that sheep. But I also seen some that go running when you go to catch them, and they yell and scream as soon as you put your hand on them, and it's like almost like, please don't take me. And they cry out the whole time until they get their throat cut.
Yeah.
Okay. But they're gonna get their throat cut regardless, because that's part of their life. That's part of their life.
They're gonna become somebody's sweater or something.
We talking about humans who actually are allowing their throats to get cut by accepting ignorance, not on the level of what Jazz was saying. That's one level of where it's just like
that's more like ordinary
interest. That's a personal interest, right? And it was an entertainment thing specifically. But like the guy said, you don't want to place a bet because it's not going to be rewarding, because you don't know enough information. You aren't informed enough. You're ignorant to it.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
You lack the knowledge. You lack the information about the subject. to even place the bet knowledgeably in order to possibly get the type of result that you're looking for. You still could lose your money, even with all the information in the world.
Right, of
100%
course, because
fact.
you're
Okay.
betting.
So what we talking about is more common things like we talked about in politics, like people voting. Why is it okay to demand this, that, and the third, but then still be ignorant in the way voting works? Why people accept that? Why is that an
That is
acceptance?
that is that is. I hate that
Yeah, that
because
reminds me of, remember back in the day, like when, like the 50s or the 60s, and they made Black people, we had to take some sort of like a literacy test or something in order to vote, but no one took it because,
we had to count beans in a jar. We had to guess how many beans was in a jar.
yeah, or
We had to
some ignorant stuff
yeah.
like that. There I go, ignorant, exactly. Some ignorant stuff like that, where it's like completely improbable that you're going to guess correctly. But basically, that was a tactic um, of the politicians at that time to, make it so that Black people couldn't vote because they were ignorant of the politics. They were ignorant of, what was going to be happening in their communities. And besides, at that time, Black people didn't have any rights to really say, even if they voted, to say what was going to actually change or what was going to actually become a bill and then in turn a law. So it didn't matter, but it was, I don't know.
Nah, it
Right.
mattered.
You know what I mean? I kind
It
of
did
lost my
matter.
train of thought a little bit, but you know what I mean, guys?
It didn't matter to the people that they was trying to get
100% not.
to vote.
Like,
You know what I'm saying? It
yeah,
didn't matter to them, but it
that's
mattered
Right,
to the people who designed the system.
right,
You know,
exactly, because
but
they
the
wanted
thing,
to keep
okay,
us
so
out
check
of
this
it.
out. So check this out. So this is my thing now when we still talking about ignorance. All right. If we can describe that and we can identify it, then why do people still vote with that with ignorance? Why do they still we can go through all of that stuff that happened. We can point the blame and know who set it up and everything, but then people still will go and participate in ignorance. Why is that?
They don't do the research. They don't know
be,
the real process of how you were saying last week about that the president isn't the one that truly makes the decisions, but it's the cabinet and the other people that make the decisions. And that to really truly make an informed decision, you have to do your research on who is being elected and what values they carry and what ideals they are aligned with and what they're truly going to do for you. And which we all know politicians, they can be sneaky, they can be you know bend the truth and what have you to get votes. But I feel like that, I don't know, it's tricky because it's like, should we have to take a test on the like in school, should we have a test for citizens to see how much knowledge we know about the candidates or about the government in general before you're allowed to actually vote? Like, you know what I mean?
I mean, it's called U.S. history. They teach it to everybody.
Yeah, no, I know.
but
But
that,
of course,
but
of
like we
course.
agreed last show, like everybody, you ask somebody what's, name the three branches of the government. The
Yeah,
average person
judicial, legislative,
cannot
executive, right?
name
They
it.
don't know it.
They don't know it.
But
So that goes back to my point where, like, yeah, we broke down some things. Like you brought an example of why you think so, God. Would you?
say it again.
I said, why do you think, based on the example Jazz gave about these things that were designed and everybody and black people were subjected to, but black people still go and vote in ignorance today?
right.
So to be honest, I think that it's
Ooh,
because that's how we've been taught, right? We've been educated that we look for a leader, we look for somebody else to tell us which way to go. We look for can We're taught that men in uniforms are power and have authority, and are right. The teaches us in a manner that does not assist us properly, right? It teaches us in a
Mm-hmm.
way that further instills the BS, right? It doesn't teach the importance of the three branches of government, right? It doesn't teach the importance of the process of having a point of view, an argument, and how to get that argument heard, right? To understand what that process is, to understand that you need signatures, like a lot of them, to even make somebody listen to you, right? Like, and it's not even to make somebody listen to you, is to ensure that what you're bringing to your government, that you want to make changes, that the people are behind it, right? Because if the people are behind it, when your peoples get this, they like, yo, when your mans get it, they'll be like, yo, all right, you got 100,000 signatures, you got 10,000 signatures, you got 1,000 signatures, you got whatever. This is important, right? And it's I don't know, we just don't get taught the process. We don't get taught the importance of the process. We look to CNN and Fox and MSNBC for and to comedians for our political views and information, right? So we vote according to what they tell us to do.
To an extent.
That's what I think.
No doubt.
Like those, those jars that the sister mentioned, right? Like our ancestors actually took guesses,
Right, thinking that
to
they
see
were
how
going to
many
actually have a chance to vote.
this and with my mind today, I'm saying, right, and voted anyway, right? What that
Hello?
said, because they choose what? Yeah,
Said because
can
they
you hear me?
choose to be a follower.
And that's what I'm saying, right? Like we're taught to look for a leader, right? We're looking for.
You breaking up. You breaking up.
Yeah,
And I
he's
think
breaking
that's
up.
all. You said I'm breaking up?
Yeah.
Yeah,
We didn't
I
get
couldn't hear anything.
That's crazy. All right, I'm gonna go out and come back in.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, so yeah, so definitely.
I know what you're trying to say. I would say in terms of another example, like us. Okay, Juneteenth is here. All right. I mean, well, it's on Wednesday, I think, actually, Juneteenth. So this year, all over the country they have examples. I mean, not examples, celebrations, festivals, whatnot. And I just find it very interesting that when we were in school, they didn't teach. Well, I mean, it's kind of, well, it is a fairly new quote unquote holiday, but the fact that we celebrated July 1st or no, July 4th as our Independence Day, but it wasn't truly the day that marked the end of slavery until June 19th. And but a lot of people, I think, are kind of, I mean, I don't think they're ignorant to the fact, maybe not Black people, but I think that there needs to be more, I mean, maybe some Black people, but I feel like there needs to be more knowledge about what Juneteenth is and why we celebrate it and why it's so special to to Black people around the country, like, you know, the way that everyone does with July 4th, like, you know, not just a barbecue or something, like it's a real, like, I mean, and granted, of course, we had to go through Jim Crow and civil rights and all that other stuff too, but just speaking about the end of slavery, I think some people are ignorant of what that means, what Juneteenth is, or what it is to celebrate it.
What does it change?
Which is sad. It doesn't change anything. No, of course, it doesn't
So what
change
is everybody
anything.
celebrating for?
I would say the fact that that we were emancipated from slavery, but you know, like I said, there was still Jim Crow, there was still civil rights, there was still, I mean, apartheid in Africa. You know,
now let me ask you something, Jazz. I want to ask you something.
Yeah.
You made a Ali. You can unmute your mic whenever you're ready. You made a mic check.
Right.
Okay, yeah, you sound really clear now. It's all sharp. You made a comment. You just now made a comment real quick, and then we let you finish your point, God. You made a comment that Blacks were free from slavery. Okay, so from the chains and whips thing, yes.
Right, from that, yeah, the physicalness, yeah.
But you made a comment the other day on a post. You said, I go to work and I get taxed. I spend my money on it, and then I get taxed again on the money I spend. The money I save, even after I save it, in the long term, I get taxed on it again. So I want you to examine that. I'm not going to do it on this show, and just examine it in correlation to what you just said. Okay.
Yo, I can't hear y'all for real. So
put everything in everything in the bag of the collective.
Okay.
You know,
I can do that.
You know, because
it's all connected.
You know, because like, I mean, you know, like
I got a lot of comments about that post, man.
Like really? Like I mean, are you free? Are we free? Like I said, you own nothing. You know, like I hear certain things where they talking about you own nothing and you'll be happy. Like we already don't own nothing. Already, you gotta pay taxes on everything.
Right.
So if you don't pay the taxes on it, then you don't get the little bit that's left over after you pay the taxes. So like,
man, it's crazy out here.
You know, so everybody popping all this, and I'm just trying to figure it out. Like, is it? You know, is it or isn't? Or is it just ignorance? It's just ignorance because people aren't doing the due diligence to go and learn how all of it works. Everybody just accepting, okay, I'm cool. I just learned this little part. And then when they get to the other part, they either sink or swim, or it either seems too difficult, so they don't want to learn it, or it's just, oh, I just want this for me. I just want this part. I don't really want to learn the other part. Why not?
Right.
Why do you not
want
want
to learn everything completely?
Knowledgeable about the whole situation, about all the information. Because when you aren't, then you're unaware.
Exactly.
You're ignorant. And that's why I'm just like, it doesn't make sense to me. Like, you know, everybody be excited about the front, about the beginning of it. But then nobody wants to do all the work to get to the end. And then the road seems so difficult. And it's like, no, the road's not difficult. You need to learn more. It's not, I got my foot in the door, now I can celebrate. No, it's still work to be done. There is still a path. And if you didn't know it before, then you have to learn it. So you have to not want to be ignorant. You have to heal the ignorance. in order to get the reward. If not, you're gonna be disappointed.
Mm-hmm.
And then everybody gonna be talking about, oh, well, I just put it in God. God ain't had nothing to do with it. You gave up. God gave you the strength to get up and go do it, but you quit because you
Right.
ain't gonna learn no more. I say it.
Yeah, you have to put your all into things. You have to, you know, put your best foot forward.
I mean, that go for me too. I'm not
Yeah,
exempt.
no, everyone. Yeah.
I am not exempt. So I ain't throwing no stones at nobody. I'm not exempt. I don't get a pass. I still gotta
Yeah.
pay
And I
taxes.
mean, I definitely meant what I said on that post, but definitely like hearing you say it and then thinking about the whole freedom thing, it makes sense. Like,
You know, and that's why you know, I had a past friend of mine that used to say, if knowledge is power, then freedom is unnecessary. I think they stopped believing that, but that's just my opinion. Check one. We still ain't got you, God.
I can't hear him.
If I could read lips, I'm working on it. You gotta come out and come back in. You know, and that's why we talking about ignorance. Like, why is it so cool to be ignorant? Why is it because of the blissness? Is what's up with the blissness, Jazz? Why is ignorance so bliss? Like to just be like, you know what? Even when people say things like, I know it, but I don't even care.
Well, that's just ignorant. Here we go again with the
That's
word.
just ignorant.
It's ignorant. Oh my God. Because how could you not care about not knowing something? Like that just is dumb. Like you're gonna need it for something. Like and usually when it's people saying that, I mean not to like, you know, judge anyone, but usually when people say some stuff like that, they just
I know.
aren't very intuitive into what they're talking about. Like I don't want to say they're stupid, but they ain't the brightest bulb in the pack.
They ain't the brightest bulb in the pack.
Nah.
But they can be though. You
No,
know,
of course they can be, but you can only be what you want to be and what you try to be. But if you're just like, man, I don't care, like I'm not trying to hear that or whatever, like you won't go forward. You'll be stuck in your ignorance. And if that's how somebody wants to be, that's how they're gonna be. But ignorance is a choice. It's a choice. You don't have to be ignorant. People don't want to learn. They don't want to take the time to research or to talk to people like, you know, their elders. Like, you know, for example, like a kid that's, you know, they want to learn about something, you know, from their past or whatever, and their grandfather or whoever's trying to teach it to them, but they're like, nah, I'm not trying to hear that, you know, whatever. But if you're really trying to learn, you'll sit down, you'll pay attention, you'll get that knowledge, you'll soak that up so that you can be better in your future for yourself and your offspring or for whatever, you know. But if you have the attitude and the mindset like, I don't give a crap and ignorance is bliss, I don't care, it doesn't have anything to do with me or mine, so I don't need to know about it, then you won't take it into account. You won't hold yourself accountable for knowing it or just being ignorant and continuing to be ignorant. And that's
right. And that's under the assumption that the grandparent is teaching something of benefit.
Right. Something that's really that they can use.
Right. Do you know? I mean, but they might be teaching you how to shoot dice or how to shotgun beers or something like that, you know, like.
Right. And there's, and no judgment. There's all types of lessons you could be learning from anyone, any type of elder or any older person in your life, you know. It's how you use it and how you want to, you know, make it a part of your world, you know. Learn how to do the laundry, learn how to cook a certain recipe, how to anything, you know, a life lesson. Nothing tangible, but just, you know, how to conduct yourself.
Right.
I can't hear him. Can you hear him?
Mic check. I couldn't get him in there.
No, I couldn't hear him at all.
I couldn't get him in there. You know, so I mean, there's so many places we can go with this, with ignorance. But like you said, it is a choice. And the problem that I have with it is just like, why? Like, why do people choose to just quit? What is going on? Like, what is the
Or just to not know things, or just to be cool with, well, I don't know about that. That doesn't apply to me. But you don't know if it will. Or you don't, like, okay, we have to learn CPR at our job. We have to be CPR certified, right? Now, if I didn't do my job, I probably wouldn't know about it. But you know what? If I didn't have this position, I would still want to learn CPR, because you never know. It could be good for your daily life, you know, to anything's happening, you know, medically. I want to learn how to save someone's life, or learn how to save my own.
right.
But that's me. I want to know that, you know, procedure, how to do that. Some people aren't interested, and that's okay, you know.
Right. But the
But
job,
we're required to be CPR first aid certified at my job.
that's right. That's right. Just like every military member is required for basic CPR, you know.
Yeah,
And that's because if something happens to somebody, you need to be able to administer it, you know.
exactly, right away.
Yeah, like right then and there, you know, first responder. And that's I mean, like, that's a tool, that's a resource that you
Right,
can have at a family reunion.
right.
Okay.
Anywhere you're on the bus
At
and
a
there's a
funeral.
bunch of people.
I actually was at a funeral and saw
Mhm,
that possibly, you know, like, I didn't even see when it happened, but
mhm.
I don't know how immediate, what was the initial response, but I know that somebody did pass away, you know.
Wow.
So I mean, like, that was shocking to me. I was like, wow,
Right.
you know. But those are I say that because, not to stay on that, but like, let's say that more people in that space had basic CPR training,
Right.
you know, then there's a possibility that somebody could have, you know, possibly, I don't know, it could
Saved
have
it.
been
They might have saved his life, or,
yeah,
you know, got to the point before, you know, the ambulance could get him to the hospital or something, you know. Could have lasted longer depending on the severity of whatever happened, you know.
you know,
You never
so
know.
it's
Yeah.
and those are the type of things. Can you hear us, God?
Can you
Please,
hear us?
please. I can hear y'all. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we got you.
Yeah,
You
I can
back
hear
in the
you.
Hey,
Yeah, you back in the game. As a matter of fact, turn your volume up just a little bit if you can.
turn my volume up. Hold on. I forgot to do all that.
Hold on. Excuse me. I'll be right back.
Oh yeah, we in here.
Check, check, check. How we got me right
Mic
there.
check. Lima Charlie.
Word. See, ignorance would have had me not back on the show.
and what did you say? You gave me a compliment early. I just sent it right back at you. You know what I'm saying? Because I know. So when you know, you know. You ain't gotta ask. My man wear a shirt that say self-determination. It ain't on him, it's in him. You know, that's just so everybody else can go buy the merch. Make sure y'all go get that too. The links is in the description.
Word.
So you remember where you was at with the bill?
I 100% do not. I do got to catch up because I was trying to figure this out because everything y'all was saying for me was all choppy.
Okay.
Like I was mashing my face to the thing, like I don't hear it. So I catch up. Like we can just keep on going.
Okay.
All
So,
right.
yeah, backed by popular demand.
Hey,
Go book.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So we were on we still on ignorance. That's the topic for this evening. Make sure if y'all watching, y'all hit the like button. Make sure y'all like and share the video if you can. It really helps out the algorithm. Um, but we were going towards different situations that's playing out with ignorance, like where people are allowing themselves. Jazz made a point to say that it's a choice. It is a choice for people to choose to say, um, for people to choose to be ignorant. Now, I was making a point that people are comfortably. I was piggybacking on what Jazz was said. People are comfortably just saying, "I don't need to know this.
Hmm.
I'm comfortable with just knowing this right here, and this is fine. I don't need to advance beyond this. I don't need to learn anything beyond this." Okay.
Right.
Now, I get that is okay in certain situations. All right. But then there are things that now, if it's something that you want to do, that you truly desire, I'm a person that believes that everybody who wants to do something, they put the energy and effort into it, no matter positive or negative. If you
that's
want to
true.
do it, you're going to seek the knowledge. You're not going to allow yourself to remain ignorant. Where I'm having a problem with it is that I'm seeing a lack of productive things for people uh minimizing their ignorance. So like they're becoming knowledgeable in things that just aren't beneficial. Things that, I mean, it's beneficial to them, don't get me wrong, because
It's
that's
a
their
bunch of
choice.
non-soup questions, basically.
But it's like like did
Is
that
it really beneficial? Is
did
it
that
really
help you go in a direction, or did that just satisfy a moment? You know,
right? Like something to make your entire life better, like the bigger picture.
That's interesting. You asked, does it satisfy just a moment? And the first thing that came to my mind was YOLO. You
yeah,
live only
YOLO,
once,
right? Instant gratification. You only live once.
right? That's how I go, right? You only live once, or something like that.
Yeah.
yeah,
Right?
living my
Like
best life. I don't get nothing out of
I'm living my
you.
best life. Like
Living my best
everything,
life. All that
everything is old girl Janelle Monae talking about like it's pleasure time.
pleasure
Like
time.
it's like it's all your desires right now, right? Forget about like the future will come, whether you ready for it or not. It don't matter, and
Well, listen, you can't
that
live
is a
like that. That's
nah.
mm-mm.
Those like these are that's these are Ali words based on what I'm seeing and hearing, right? Like um. It, to me, it seemed like the narrative and the message that's being pushed is again YOLO, right? Like it's right now, like it's instant gratification because tomorrow's not promised, and since it's not, then I might as well get mine now, right? And that's terrible. Earlier, what I was thinking about the ignorance thing, and more so willful ignorance is what I think we're talking about ultimately, right? Because I would say that being ignorant is definitely limited to and situational, right? And is only a like I said with the football situation is only a problem when you decide to place a bet and you haven't done any research and you're making this decision based on the color of their uniforms, right? Or whatever.
That's a cool way to place a bet. Hey, they got green uniforms on. I'm going with the
And that
green.
That is
might be your color of the
ridiculous.
day,
You might
right? You
just
know,
win. Bet on green. Isn't that
They're
how
wearing
people do in
purple.
Vegas? Bet on black, bet on red.
they make it real easy.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
They make it real easy to just throw away your time and your money, right? And without you having to do a lot of thinking, right? Is real easy to go to the ATM machine in a casino and take out more money because you know the odds say within the next two hands you're gonna hit. That's what
Gotta
they
play
say.
them odds.
You gotta
Gotta
play
play
the-
them odds. FanDuel, baby. Gotta play them
you know the
odds.
house always wins,
FanDuel.
but you gotta play the odds, right?
You
Right.
know?
So and that's a willful ignorance, right? That's a here it is. You know you don't have gambling money, but you taking money, you robbing Peter to pay Paul, so to speak, or you taking money, you taking house money to go play with,
Yeah, hopefully you get to pay Paul if you're lucky.
right? Like, um, I don't know, man. Like I think about the Matrix. I think about old boy, saying like I know this not a steak. I don't care, right? The reality is in the real world, I gotta eat warm snot, right? And that's the real world. That's what they telling me Zion is, and I would rather eat this fake steak that I know is not doing anything to me. I know I'm plugged up to a thing right now with something in the back of my head. I know all that, and I'm cool with it because it's so good, right? And so many people identify with that character. Like, like real talk, people are looking for Neo, but nobody want to be Neo.
Say that one more time. A savior. You talking about like a savior?
They're looking for him,
Are you talking about like our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ?
Messiah.
Don't be talking about Jesus like that, God.
No, I'm
Yeah,
not.
okay, hold on now. Hold up now.
Don't be talking about my
I, I
Jesus.
I dare
Don't be
not.
talking about my God.
This is Father's Day after all, right? Like I dare not.
The Father.
Good one. Father's Day.
The Father.
Father.
No, he's the Son, so it's okay.
Yeah, first of all.
I didn't
Right?
make it up. I didn't make it up, or design it, or write it, or nothing. But that is supposed to be the Son. So it's all good. But yeah, it's a little.
Yeah, right. Like, and that's the thing, right? So as long as everybody is looking, because think about it, like everybody want to win, but nobody want to be the one. Nobody want to be the quarterback throwing up the ball. Nobody want to be the receiver that's responsible for catching the ball. Nobody want to be the guy on special teams doing a
They
punt
don't.
return, right? Like nobody actually want to be those key positions and roles. However, they do if everything goes right.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's good. That's corny. That's
That's
too
super
corny.
cool.
You know what I'm saying? Like people don't know. Like, and see, that's a level of ignorance. I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you opened up the door for that. I'm gonna go ahead, step on in that. You know what I'm saying? Walk up in there, fly, pop my collar.
Hey,
We've been doing this. We've been putting this DB Chef TV thing together
Mm-hmm.
and reaching other people. People be like, I know that the way people think is, oh, he don't have this or he don't have that. Well, I'm here to say, all right, what makes you think I'm gonna fuck with you when I do have this or I do have what you not trying to fuck with me when you see me working, when you see us putting in the work.
Right.
in front of your face.
You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna pick you. I'm not gonna pick you. You know what I'm saying? Because where the fuck was you at when I was shooting in the gym?
You couldn't pass me the ball. You couldn't get a rebound for me at all. You couldn't check up. You couldn't do nothing. You couldn't tell me it's raining outside. Like, yo, sun's getting late. I got you. You need anything?
And that's right. Like that's the ignorance because you know this for a fact. We build. So anything that I know, I don't like ignorant people around me.
Nah, you gotta know, son. If
Yeah.
if I know it and you my man's or you my sister,
I gotta share it with you.
100% you gonna know it as well. Now you can willfully
Exactly. Or I'm
ignore
gonna
it.
educate you and make sure you know it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like now, unless you just don't want it,
Yep.
you know, and that's cool.
But I'm giving it.
But I'm gonna give it to you anyway, because you're gonna see me
Mhm.
doing it.
And that's gonna be my whole conversation, especially if that's me. Like when I started farming, like everything became like a bucket in a corner, right? Like
Everything.
my like all my friends had to become farmers. I had to start growing. And
Wow. You're like, you're gonna
Anytime,
learn this today. You're gonna learn about these
let me
crops.
tell you something. I can say this about the God. The God was like, every time I would be like, man, I'm still in this little apartment in New York. That's an excuse. No cut card. That's an excuse.
That's an excuse.
That's an excuse.
Wow.
You see? And then when I stop making excuses and start receiving the knowledge that my brother was trying to give me.
Hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? Not
Yeah.
withholding. He excited, so he's sharing it.
Right. He's sharing you the knowledge. He's giving you the knowledge of his farming and stuff.
Then my thumb got green.
That super green. Super green.
You
Cool.
see? So it is that. It's like you're supposed to be sharing it, but you want to see the people doing the work too, though. Like if you don't see they doing the work, you what they say, you can't cash your pearls to swine.
Yeah, like I don't want nobody just talking about like, yo, I know somebody named Ali and he grow food, man. It's cool. Word. Does it teach? Like what are you doing? Like it's not cool just to go around just talking about other people and like I mean, I guess if you networking, I don't
In
know.
ignorance, yes, it is. It is very cool and casual to do it in ignorance. You know, it is just in ignorance. Just because you don't know,
Exactly.
you scared to call them and have a conversation because you might learn something from them.
You might learn something from 'em. I had Cass say to me, what we want to go to Ali house for, man? Like like we don't have to go read some books or something. I'm like, probably, because if I'm in that mode, if I'm on the taking information mode and I got a bunch of books that I'm just referencing back and forth off each other, and you come around me, you get to come into the cipher.
Right. You get to join the book club and see what we're talking about, what we're learning.
You came over here, right?
Right. This is what we're doing today.
This is what I'm on. Right, so
Yeah, because we saved the wows for online.
you
Facebook for glamour shots,
know what I'm saying?
you know, because it's all about doing. Because ignorance is not cool. Like it's just not cool. You know, you want to learn stuff. I don't know. It's more rewarding for me. You know, to me, ignorance, like I said before, is just bad. It's just horrible. You know, to be standing there like, I don't know this, and you don't even want to try to
Right. Try
attempt.
to get the knowledge, try to figure out why, or try to understand what you don't know.
But I'll take whatever they gonna give me.
I take whatever they're gonna give me though, but
You know, but
that's so lazy, right? And that's taught, bro. That laziness is taught, right? We like on one hand we say pull yourself out of bootstraps, but at the same time, like
Wait, you think, did you say laziness is taught?
Yeah, right. Like on one hand, they say pull yourself up by your bootstraps, and on the very other hand, on the same part of the body, they're giving out welfare,
Oh man.
right? Like and giving out welfare without a plan or a process to enforce the progress and growth of the people or the participants, right? Like is a system that just is perpetuates on people
People
not
people not evolving.
right. Whereas
Right. Like
where
they're
whereas
like
whereas
people that I understand what you're
Women,
saying. Like
yeah,
to
people not
be,
evolving.
it's set
I
up,
get it.
it's set up for you to win in reality,
I seen it.
right? Like I seen people win,
I
right?
seen it.
And but I also seen those people were the anomalies, right? Those people who came in with a
Yeah.
plan,
Oh yeah.
those people worked their plan, they worked the system, they learned what they needed for their plan, right? And they followed the process and things worked out.
You mean they got out of, get off of welfare, or do you
Yeah,
mean, is that
Yes.
what you mean? Yeah.
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 Like they because they actually because these people didn't actually go on welfare for welfare to take care of them forever.
I
They
see. Right.
they went on welfare as part of their plan for their success, right? So they needed schooling. They used the system to help get them educated in a particular thing
Uh,
so that they can then get a job.
like as a resource.
Yeah, like they use the system, like they use the because they got like housing programs and stuff, and
Yeah.
but it's tricky though, right? Because if the moment that you make too much money,
Yep. Exactly.
you phase out of the housing program to where check it out is a mind game though, right? Because you can still get the apartment or the house that you're looking for that you're looking at.
But it'll be more expensive.
You got to pay the regular rent for it
The market rent. Yep.
versus the welfare rent. And in reality, that's a hard choice to make, to be
Oh, it's
honest.
difficult. Yep. It's difficult.
a
Crazy.
hundred $150
That's
versus
I disagree that it's difficult.
you think so?
I know
It
so.
is difficult.
Now
$150, bro.
I'm gonna say this. It is not difficult if you have a plan
True.
because
No, that's true.
I seen somebody do it. And now if you
Yeah, I know a
by
few people.
yourself and you got full-time school, okay, then yes, it could be difficult because you have to go to school full time. But anybody who knows how to manage their time wisely and has organizational skills, if you don't have no organizational skills, you can't manage your time wisely. It's gonna be a hard road anyway. Okay. But
In
I
life,
Yeah.
period.
but in life, period, correct. But I seen somebody do it.
I know a few people that have done it, bro.
Okay.
That we're not talking outside of our necks, but like
No.
it
And I
is.
seen them go from no rent free, a voucher,
A voucher.
okay, to home to owning multiple homes and real estate and stuff like that. For real.
Correct.
Wow.
And they came up off of they got their degree and everything. Now they had to pay for their um how do they call it? What you call the masters and the doctorates? With those the later education or what
But
they call those degrees?
The graduate degree.
Graduate
They're
degrees. That's what I'm talking about. The
they had to pay
graduate
for that.
degrees. They
Oh
had to pay
man,
for that.
that's terrible.
You know what I'm
damn.
saying?
That's a lot.
But they got it subsidized. They even got some of that subsidized. You see? So like
Yeah.
I
Wow. Who is
seen
this
them
person? I want
use
to
it.
talk to this person. I want. Who is
No,
this?
like it's that's you can just talk to the people at the program. Like is there to be worked, right?
I seen it.
I
I
mean,
seen it.
and they the problem is they got so many people that don't want to work it positively, that want to work it negatively, that the employees are jaded, right? So it's hard finding the right person that to actually want to help out, right? And see value in you, right? So you really got to go in there with your plan, and you got to work your plan, and you got to know what you're needing and what kind of resources you need, right? And talk to these people honestly.
Yeah, they got to get the game from somebody.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Because had I not had that experience, trust me, that was the only good thing I got out of that experience. Everything else was horrible. I would never want to do that again in life. That all the B side or the
yeah,
A side, like the A side was horrible, but the B side, I did learn some things because I did not know that. Everybody that I was familiar with, um, from where I'm coming from, as
hmm,
far as my experiences in life, always utilize the public assistance to stay on it,
correct.
you know, to not do anything above that, to do everything to maintain the ability to stay on it,
Which
nothing
is which is
above
like
that.
a which is like a real effort, not like it's takes a lot to do nothing or to do less than your best, right? It's not. I don't think that's super easy. Or maybe it is. I'm just a worker, I
Yeah, like
guess.
yeah, like that. I never even put. You see how I ain't do me like that? Don't do yourself like that. I ain't do me like that,
I'm a
guy.
worker, bro.
You know what I'm
I
saying?
ain't
Like,
going
don't do
out
yourself
lazy.
like that.
I ain't
You
going
know.
out lazy, man. Like
Yo, for Happy Father's Day, Dad, provider. You know what I'm saying?
facts,
Builder.
facts.
Right.
So that's the difference.
Yeah.
Like, there's a difference in that dynamic. You know.
And in looking at myself, I started all of my journey in ignorance, right?
We all did, shoot.
And it all started right, and it all progressed with me saying, all right, what do I do next, right? Like it literally took me doing something about my ignorance, right? Like, and I don't know, that's just gotta be courageous, man. Like, and wanting and willing to work, like that willful ignorance that I don't need to know nothing else, I don't want to know nothing else, it don't
Right.
matter, it don't matter anyway. I'm like, it don't if you say it like that.
That seemed like too much work.
I mean, but
That
like,
seemed like too much work.
it don't seem like too much work. It is a lot of work. It
It
don't seem like
is.
it don't seem like it is. It is a lot of
It
work,
It
is.
right?
is.
Like,
It is.
and it's called life. Like life is a lot of work, right? Like there's no
Right.
way.
Yeah, exactly. Getting up every day, going to a job,
It's a lot of
raising
work.
kids, da da
It's a lot of
da.
work. That's a lot of work. You got to make like
Right. Yeah, it's a lot of work. It
just,
is.
just just getting out of the bed and just washing your ass every day. Like that's a lot of work, man. Like you can just. I'd rather just lay there, but I gotta get up. My alarm clock. Like it's time to
Oh
hit the
my
road.
goodness.
It's time to go exercise. Got time to take care of the dog. Time to take care of the chickens. Right. It's time to do stuff. It's a lot of work, and before I can even do any of that, I gotta get fresh and get ready. Right. How long said ready or not? Here I come. You can't hide. Right. Like it's coming. Right. Like life is not easy.
Whoever said that it was going to be? That's what I want to know. I want to know who said that this thing was going to be easy peasy,
Nobody.
breezy, beautiful cover girl all day long. and
Mhm.
you and you wasn't gonna have no problems. And there was a
Nobody.
song that Ali got the tunes this evening, that "Don't Worry, Be Happy." I love that
Don't
song.
worry.
you know but
Be happy. Doo, doo, doo,
you
doo.
find moments,
Yeah. And
you find time for that, to realize that.
but with that though, right? Like so in this country specifically, right? Um is sold. and billed as the land of milk and honey, right? So people on the outside have that expectation and understanding and acceptance, and they come here with that in mind. And somehow it trickles down to where everybody think it's like milk and honey is supposed to be easy over here, and then they compare it to West Bumblefuck or wherever they from, and in comparison to that, life is easy
because they
over
have
here
an opportunity.
because but I'm saying, and they also have something to compare it to, right? And if all you have is this, where you have where you can curse your president out if you want to, you can type just about anything you want without going to jail or prison or whatever, right? Like you have freedom of speech where a lot of countries don't, right? And I'm like, that trick of milk and honey is the lie, right? That is the where willful ignorance is accepted, I think, right? Because
I wouldn't say it's a lie. I would just say life isn't like easy like that, like easy like Sunday morning. It's,
it ain't.
I mean, some days it is, of course, but to get to that land of milk and honey portion of your life, you got to do your due diligence. You got to work first. You got to not be ignorant and do some research and find some things out about life. And, with whatever you want to pursue or whatever business you want to get into, you can't be um, ignorant to the facts of life and the facts of whatever you want to get into. You have to know, you have to build that knowledge, you have to research and go towards it, grind. um, you can't just be ignorant, because then
Or
nothing
you
would happen.
can
You wouldn't.
be. Or you
I mean,
can
okay,
be.
girl, okay, listen.
Nah, go
Stop.
ahead, Jazz. I'm teasing. Go ahead.
No, okay, I'm trying to
Go
be positive. No, but like, of course, you want to be ignorant, be ignorant. That's on you. That's on you. You gonna be. I mean, I ain't gonna be with you. I'm not gonna be next to you. You being ignorant. Like, you want to be like that, and it's not a judgment or anything. But I like to surround myself with people that are
Ooh,
knowledgeable and that know things and that are progressing in their lives, that want to, and people that are striving for things. And nothing wrong with someone that is downtrodden, or that's you know on down on their luck or whatever. That happens. That's life happens. But to remain ignorant and remain complacent, I don't I mean, you got to be positive. You got to look towards something. I mean, but I know everyone doesn't feel like that. Everyone doesn't think like that or have that type of mindset. But because I think that's kind of taught, or it's ingrained in you, like self-motivation. Ooh, we should do that one. Self-motivation.
self-motivation.
Yeah.
Yo, I kind of think that like it's actually suicidal to be ignorant, right? To remain in ignorance, like you have to get yourself safe. You have to gain knowledge of your surroundings. You have to be able to read a room and know if you are safe in that room, right? You have to know that you have to be able to communicate in that room. And if you choose not to, and you choose to stay in that room, I think that you're doing it because you want to harm yourself, right? I think that whole "I don't care" attitude, or that whole "fuck it," that whole two tears in the bucket, fuck it, that whole idea, they're gonna take me as I am mentality. Um, I think that's self harming, right? And I think is deliberate and cowardly, right? Like so you said something, Jazz, that was hard, right? Because I was gonna say it, but you said it. You can be ignorant, but just not around me.
And I don't want it to come off as
No,
like,
and that's why I was gonna say to you, right? I wanted to stop you and say it's not fair, sis. It is a judgment,
I was gonna say that too. That it is
right?
being very
And
judgmental.
and
Some people
and and it's not it's not fair. It's not fair to you, not you specifically, sis, but it's not fair to the person making the judgment. It's not fair to the person being judged. That is not seen like that, right? Like tell the truth, right? I don't want you around me or need you around me because you dangerous to me, right? Your ignorance, you're perfectly happy and fine being in your bliss of not knowing. But I know that you might hold my leg. I watched the video where these cats was the cops was running down on some cats, and Buddy was running from the boys or whatever, right? And he ran into his man, and his man went to go get out the way, and he actually fell down and grabbed his man by the leg and made sure
it's foul.
What was he thinking? If you going down, if I'm going down, you
to,
going down with me.
to make sure his man got locked up with him, right? And or maybe he was so scared of getting locked up, period, that in fear he reached out and grabbed for his friend. Either way, that was he is dangerous. Like
What?
yo, I'm good either way, right? Because I'm saying it don't matter. I'm,
You talking about? Hold up, God. You talking about like we hiding from the police,
no,
right? And then the police say, "Come from behind there," and then the dude walk out and be like, "All right, y'all, come out. We caught."
better more so, hey
Stupid.
man, come from behind the
You're
van, bro.
here.
Yo man, come from behind the van, man. They know we out here. They got us,
They
man.
got us. Nah,
Let's
they got
Got him.
you.
2 for 1.
Got
You
you.
ain't getting away.
Us.
right? That's dangerous, right?
Yeah, that's dangerous.
That person is dangerous to themselves because they don't necessarily care about getting caught, right? Because you either supposed to run or lawyer up, right?
Home ass.
You know,
Ain't
that's what I'm
nobody
saying.
supposed to get caught in
That's what I'm
prison.
saying.
Lawyer up.
You're supposed to
Crazy.
run or lawyer up, like that's it, right? But if you're gonna
Yeah.
if you are gonna call out in fear or call out maliciously because if I'm going down, we all going down. I can't read
Hmm.
people's hearts or their intents, so I don't want to assume. That's why I said it don't matter. The only thing that matters is the person is dangerous, and I don't like dangerous people around me at all. So I make the judgment and I discern and I defend myself aggressively out loud that I don't want no bums around me. Right? You don't have to think exactly like Ali,
Right.
right?
Hmm.
Like your thoughts don't have to be my thoughts, but your process has to be like my process, right? I have to I have to feel safe in knowing that if Pearl is telling me something that his process of thinking is good enough, right? Like it works. Like he started with a beginning, a middle, and an end, and then he said, "Yo, man, this is what I came up with. What do you think?" Right?
I'm gonna piggyback that. Actions to me define who a person is, bar none.
Definitely.
Your actions to me define who you are. Okay. But in order for me to be around you, I have to trust your word. If I can't trust your word, if you're not a man of your word, a woman of your word, I can't be around you. Like I can go and be around some people that I know to be around you for a short time.
Correct.
But we ain't kicking it though. We ain't at the crib. We ain't cooling. We ain't out on vacation together. We ain't none of that. You
I'm
know
not
what I mean?
doing nothing vulnerable around you.
Nothing. Because I can't
Right,
trust your word. I
exactly.
can't trust your ability to make choice, to make decisions. You know, And like, what she say right here? Your discernment. Yeah.
Discernment. Yeah, right. That's why I say, right, like
Plain and
you
simple,
said you didn't want to be judgmental. I was like, nah, that's not bad. like,
you know.
like, decide for yourself what's right and wrong for you.
Remember what we said on the very first show, Jazz? How I'm gonna exercise good judgment if I don't use my mental. So I have to be
Right.
judgmental. Like
Oh yeah, exactly.
it's
Right.
being taught to us so ass backwards because it's only coming from that religious aspect where
And
don't
that's the truth.
don't be judgmental, don't be judgmental, don't be why
Right.
not? How do I make a wise choice? How do I exercise good judgment if it don't come from here first?
Mm-hmm.
Even if I pray about it and say, God, what you think I should do? And then I get quiet. Ain't something gonna happen in my brain to tell me what God said or whatever? So it still came from your mental. So you still have
Right.
to be judgmental, dummies. You know, being triggered
And
by
even
a
that
word.
word, yeah, the word, exactly, the word.
Just being triggered by the word, and you're triggered because of the miseducation, right? Like we was taught one dimensionally, and it's not negative, right? Like again, we have to be able to discern safety for ourselves, right? Like what you're cool with, like the hot water for you might be boiling hot, might be perfect, but for me might be a little bit too much, right? I might need to turn that temperature down a little bit, right? Like
It's ignorance. And
it's
that's what we discussing here
It's
today.
yeah,
ignorant. Exactly.
it's not good, right? Like it's not
It's
good.
not good.
It's not good. Like whenever even when I joke in my real life, and I'm like, man, I wish I could turn off my consciousness. I wish I could unlearn and just go back to being just 85%. I say it in joke, but I'm like, man, it's not true because I'll go crazy if I just drank the Kool-Aid, right? I would go outside my mind. I wouldn't be able to. It's too much. It's too much blatant BS to take.
I'm with you. Sometimes I wish I could too, though.
Sometimes I wish, but it's like it's way too much crap, bro, man. It's way
Because I find I have found myself like not having a good time, and it's just because of my consciousness.
it's
It's just
just because of my consciousness.
it's like I ain't with this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't even enjoy it, knowing it's something cool. Like everybody else is enjoying it, but I'm like, this is some bullshit.
This some bullshit. It took me a while, man. Like it is, yeah. And that's why I go back to my sister, right? Judgment is
Mm-hmm.
like it's okay, right? You got to
Right.
be honest. You got to be honest, especially if people are quote unquote friends and family.
Right. And that's what I meant mostly, like people that I surround myself with, or if you're in my outer circle, or if I'm just meeting you, like I'm gonna be a little like, you know, okay, who is this person? What are their intentions?
Hmm.
Like in that way,
Hmm.
want to know about them, you know.
So we know friends.
Judging, no, not
So,
friends, like
so
outside, like people, like a friend of a friend, or someone that's just coming around you, trying to get to know you, or acquaintance, someone that you don't really know too much about. You're still trying to feel them out and see what type of person they are. You want them in your inner circle.
let me tell you something. You can know somebody for 20 years and not know that they on some bullshit.
That's true.
Yeah, I heard
Okay.
that too.
That's
So
true. That's true.
what I'm gonna say is we know friends can, you know what I'm saying, change at the drop of I
Yeah.
don't know, the drop of some bullshit. Okay.
Act different. Yeah.
However, you adjust accordingly. You do whatever you have to do to
Yeah.
learn from those situations and continue moving forward, whatever that looks like. But I would like to know from the Cigarden Panel,
Yes.
when you said the toleration of ignorance, right? The toleration of ignorance. Where does everybody stand on that? What are you guys' insights on that when it comes to the toleration of ignorance for family, the people that you can't change, like that you can't remove, you can't
Well,
swap, you can't interchange?
I limit, for me personally, I limit my interactions
No doubt.
in hopes to spare the relationship and spare everybody's feelings, because I don't want to, because again, to go back to what you were saying about not enjoying yourself because of your consciousness, right? And I know people that I love that I cannot be around, right? Out of love, right? I love them so much that I cannot be around them because of the way that they live is so different, and it contrasts to my peace, that I can't do that, right? I love them to death, right? Could take them for short spurts, right? I could, situationally I could take them, but I can't take them. You know what I mean?
That's love. That's love. I like the way you put that together, though. I'm gonna say I don't want to be around you ignorant ass niggas either.
Yeah.
That's what I'm gonna say. That's not what the guy Ali Dawood El said. He said he loved him and he wanted blue. Yeah, we love him too, but I don't want to be around your ignorant ass, if we're your family or not.
Yeah,
Period.
that's the
You
truth.
know what I'm saying? For real, because we can be better. We can be on something different.
We don't got to be on bullshit.
We don't have to be on that.
exactly.
We don't have to. You know, and I'm getting tired of being a bigger man about shit all the time.
Oh no, I'm
God,
anti
me
being a
too.
big.
Oh my
I'm
God.
anti
For
being a
real.
bigger man. I'm pro. This is where it's gonna be at. This is where it's gonna be. Right. Let's match energy. I don't
That's
want to be.
it.
I don't want to be the bigger man no more.
I'm tired of that shit, man.
I'm pro. This is your fault. Right.
You know,
You
I'm
said
like,
you're pro. This
you
is
know,
your
I'm
fault.
like, I don't even want to place blame. Just, you know what I'm saying? like, don't even worry about showing up to my funeral, because guess what? I won't be there.
Facts.
Oh my God. Not your funeral.
Yeah, I
Facts.
won't be there.
I'm not gonna be there.
Who's ever been to their own funeral? Nobody.
Nobody. All right, like nobody. Right?
Like,
Hold on.
so what? You know what I'm saying? I can pray for you and I can love you from a distance and I can, you know what I'm saying? And not I never wish nothing bad, because I
Nah.
still have that genuine love. Like, I would cry, but I still wouldn't want to see you.
Still won't want to see you. And more especially, God forbid that I was still there at my funeral and you showed your punk ass up.
Wow. Casper the Friendly
I was
Ali.
about the casket fight. I just knew your ass was gonna pull up.
Oh my God.
Be like, yo, hold on, man. I got one more thing to do.
I've been saving this piece
That's
for this
crazy.
for your ass. For
That's
real.
funny. That's funny.
But that's ignorant, ain't it? See,
That's ignorance, right?
that's
Because
ignorant. Niggas ignorant.
again,
The definition. Ignorant.
why would you be going to my funeral, right? Like if you like, we ain't cool like that, keep your ass over there.
Yeah, it's like you ain't want to see me in real life. So why
Right.
you
So why are you showing up to my
are you
funeral?
just coming to check and make sure it's for real?
Right? You trying to see if I'm really dead? Like,
I know,
yeah,
like he's
pretty sure.
so conscious, right? I bet he left a whole lot of money and land for everybody. Like,
Nothing for you. Showing up to my funeral. Didn't even show up when I was alive. Get out of here.
Now we trusting things. We ain't willing nothing. No contesting.
Ignorant.
You speak the language or you don't.
Speak the language or you don't, right? Like, man. Yeah, now ignorance is not good, man. Like you gotta be informed. You gotta be more so informed. You gotta be empowered, right? Because if you're not empowered, then you are a potential slave, right? Like you are, even if you're not a potential slave, you are at least slave worthy, right?
Yeah.
If you don't know how to empower yourself, if you don't know what um power is for real, right? Like and and if you don't have a plan, nothing you doing is powerful, right?
Exactly.
I don't care how much talent you have, right? If you don't have a plan of execution, if you don't have a plan of action, if you don't have multiple courses of action, right? For the same plan,
For the
right? Not plan A and then plan B. No, the goal is still to be a movie star,
right.
right? Do I go to Hollywood or do I get my own camera,
Huh.
right? Right, like do I hire somebody from somebody someplace from some college that's in film school, or do I have my man use his iPhone? Right, like it's courses of action to do what you're trying to do, right? Like and you have to educate yourself. So you can start off, right? Starting off ignorant is not the problem, right? And that is no place or no reason to be ashamed or to feel shamed or to shame somebody, right? Because somebody is unaware of a particular subject or item or whatever at the time, again, only if they choose to remain there, right? Only if they're willing to place a bet in that ignorance does that ignorance become a problem for at least to me, right? Like, because I'm all about doing stuff, and I don't just want to talk to somebody just for the sake of talking, right? If we not getting better, if we not building something in these conversations, in these exchanges, then for me, I would just see that as a waste of time and just stop, right? I would just separate myself from that. So, nah, ignorance is terrible.
Horrible. I like one of the things you said though. You said that starting off ignorant is not a bad thing. And I
Mhm.
wanna piggyback on that and peel the layer of that back. We all start off ignorant because somebody tells us to say bye-bye,
Say
say hi,
somebody say hi.
okay?
say
So
say
everybody
potty.
start
Say
off
say
ignorant.
say pee pee.
Say
Say
people
poop.
say I gotta go potty.
Yes, I gotta go potty.
Right. Yep.
We all start off ignorant.
Use your fork. Right like this. Yeah,
You see what I'm saying?
yeah.
Mhm.
So the thing is when people just get comfortable with being ignorant and choosing to not learn more,
Yeah.
Right.
not say, okay, well, I want to have my finances better. So I need to learn about credit. I need to learn about a budget. I need to learn about the things. I want to own a home. And I don't want to just learn about how to pay a mortgage. I got a job. You could probably pay the mortgage. You got a job. You know what I'm saying? But then you need to
Mhm.
learn the in-depth things that the realtor ain't gonna teach you because they just trying to get their commission. Shout out to realtors, but
Yeah,
y'all know,
Right. Right.
you know what I'm saying? Because
yeah.
and I can't really fault them because they may not know. They may have just learned it themselves. They may be renting.
Correct.
They may
And they,
be a
and they,
realtor
and they
and,
and they just know how to sell houses. Like
and they just,
their job is just selling
Exactly.
houses.
Exactly.
you know, so you can't just stop at one thing, you know, or you will be stuck there. You won't get to that next thing ever. You won't you because you got to learn about it. You have to gain some knowledge about it. You got to get some information about it. Like everything else, like we started. You got to go potty. What you want? Say what you want. Say what you want. Point to it.
Yo,
Right.
that's why I love the babies, right? That's why I love the baby analogies for everything, because what's the purpose of saying you got to go potty as a child so that you can go outside and play by yourself, right? You want to take that pamper off, you want to take that pull up off, right? You want to put on big boy or big girl drawers, right? And you want to be able to go outside and play, right? Because if you still need assistance, everybody else having fun but you, right? Like that's why you progress. That's why you learn how to walk, right? Because you want to get something over there. Them other kids over there doing something over there, right? Especially if you got other children around you, right? They moving around, like you want to move around too. You want to definitely be in the mix.
There you go. So you can't be ignorant.
You can't be ignorant,
No, you can't be ignorant.
You
Yeah,
can't
no.
be ignorant.
right? Like she said, not quote unquote slave worthy. Oh, they must be watching the
Yeah.
they must be watching the replay. That's funny.
Now we might have a little delay on the live stream, and I'm not understanding why, but we rolling. We got it going.
Yeah, that's funny.
For sure. But yeah, we see, hold up, not quote unquote slave worthy. Yeah.
Right? Like, and it's Harriet Tubman said I would have freed more, but they just didn't know that they were slaves. If that's a true statement, right? But the statement in itself speaks volumes to the topic.
To ignorance. Absolutely.
Right?
To ignorance.
Right? I would have freed more, but they didn't know that they was enslaved. Like you have folks that thought that they had some signal of freedom. Like some people thought that bean counting thing, like they thought that was a good idea. That's what I'm saying. I'm pro breaking that jar. You want to, like, we voting because we citizens, not because I gotta figure out how many beans in this jar.
Well, here is one of the compassionate responses, right? Where a person would say, well, they were illiterate. So how could they know? How could they know? How could they not know? How could they know that they were slaves and they were illiterate? Well, those days was chains and whips and people getting beat.
You knew who were the slaves. Like, come on.
Okay.
Yeah.
But if it lasted as long as it did and you born into slavery,
That's
you know
different.
that you a slave?
That's different, bro. Because I think after the second birth on that plantation, there's no way that you know you a slave.
That's what I'm saying. So, like, if it goes on for 30 years, the first decade of people knew they were slaves.
Yeah.
And they got beat out of talking about it.
Yeah.
So the next 2 decades,
don't know at all.
This is normal. This is how we living. You born into this. This is what it is.
I agree. Yeah. and that's tough, right? Because that might look like willful ignorance a little bit. That's tough, right? Like that's tough, right? Because, and we're only saying the second birth, right? Not even third, fourth, but just the second is enough for the memory to be gone, and now this is just life.
I mean, look at now. Look at 10 years of culture versus the 10. Look at the 80s to the 90s, and then the 90s to the 2000s,
Yeah.
and then the 2000s to the 2010s, to the 2010s to the 2020s. Look at just culture without chains and whips.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah, definitely. Crazy.
Like women in the 80s didn't twerk.
Facts.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like Sade wasn't twerking.
Not at all. I love Sade. No, she
did look good though. She did look good standing there. Like she had that little pose.
Oh my God.
So so you gotta look at those things,
Nah, that's true, but at the same time, right? Like it's like again, it's still bad, right? Because just because they don't know, don't mean it ain't what it is, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know, like I think you gotta be willing to separate yourself from those people that take your ass up north and leave them right where they at, right? Because they don't mind that culture, apparently, right?
Yep.
Because I think the status quo or the norm, I guess, is cool if you're cool with it, and it's only a problem if you have a problem with it, right? But if everybody or the majority of people is fine with it, and here come Ali, the only person that got an issue with it, I think Ali needs to remove himself versus changing or trying to change the environment that I'm walking into that everybody else agree with, right? Like if I'm the only one that don't want to get slaughtered, I should probably leave.
Pretty much.
Wow.
I mean, Pearl already in the car.
I'm passenger side. I'm waiting for you, okay?
You said slaughtered Ali? I was like, yeah, but
I'm
they
in
said
the
slaughtered.
car with the black mile lit. Like, man, we should have pulled. I was wondering what was taking you so long.
Oh nah, Sasha said we got a delay for real. That's crazy.
Oh, okay. That's what's going on. Yeah, that's what's going on. But it's all good. They
That's cool.
messing with the YouTube, but it's okay. I don't know what's going on with that family.
Yeah, nah, bro. But it's all good. But it's definitely and that's why I say the laziness was taught to us because it's that second birth on a plantation is where the education gets and sits, right? Where you can receive a quote unquote slave Bible and don't question it, right? And then so much so will fight against getting the rest of it, right? Like that's taught, right? Just by the environment just being there, right? And
Yeah, it's crazy like that though. It is crazy like that, but what we gonna do? What we gonna do? We just gonna keep gaining knowledge.
I think we're doing it
and keep rolling with the punches, keep exposing it, or
yeah, definitely.
or examining it.
Examining it. I think we're doing it.
Discussing it and trying to analyze it, break it down.
Right.
And just find some solutions, some possible solutions, some answers, some tools, some techniques, some things to some coping mechanisms. Things like that. Because like we always say, we're not the gurus, but we experiencing this same thing. Like we live in
of course, every day.
with everybody who watches the show. We live in the same thing. We experience ignorance. Everybody got family members that's like, you got you got friends that's like, you know what I'm saying? People you deal with on a daily basis that you just have no relationship to, just in the regular life travels, that is just where you're disappointed, so like the guy always say, it just helped to just try to put things in perspective sometimes.
Definitely.
While we could definitely gain a better understanding of these words too, though. That's for sure, because people use it. That's one of the things that we was talking about earlier. It's how people just throw the word around like, oh, you ignorant, you ignorant, you ignorant, you ignorant, you ignorant.
Exactly. And they don't really know what it means.
And it is being used in some cases, some what is it?
Yeah,
Some
some people, of course, know what it means and they are throwing it around the right way. But
but for the most part, you know, it's used a lot in the wrong sense.
So
Like
check
just
it out. Tell me what you think about this, God and Goddess. uh, if you call somebody ignorant, it should follow with information, right? I
it
think
should follow
that
with what?
information. I think that
Mm,
if you can identify that somebody is ignorant, right? Because you're not saying that you're not necessarily saying that they are lazy and that they are a dummy and that they are
well, you
stupid.
could be. I
But no,
mean,
no, check it out. That's what I'm saying, right? Like, so you're not just by saying that a person is ignorant, you're not necessarily saying anything derogatory about them. Especially if you give them the information of what they're ignorant on. Now, if they challenge that information that you're giving them, now they qualify as big dummies, right? Because now they are demonstrating their willingness to remain ignorant, and what makes them dummies and qualify them as dummies is because they're challenging you about something that they don't know anything about. So that's like dummy.com, right? Like that's like they deserve like the dummy award for, right? Because that's different, right? That is willful ignorance, but worse with some arrogance, right? That's right. So that's what I think. If you call somebody ignorant, you should tell them the information, and if they challenge that, then that's somebody you should definitely walk away from because they're a dummy. What do you think?
okay, I agree now. Do you know the person?
exactly.
Do you know the perpetrator of the ignorance?
I'm saying that don't use the word ignorant, right? Because
No, no, you're saying if you call them ignorant,
I'm
then
saying if you
then we should
call it,
Tell them
then
why.
then it should follow with,
this,
it
yeah,
shouldn't be an insult. It should
cor-
just be making them aware
correct,
that they don't understand, that they lacking some knowledge in a certain area, and then
correct,
if you have it, to lend that to them. All
correct.
right. But what
Whether
I'm
you,
saying
I'm,
is
whether
do
you know
you
them or
know the
not,
person? Or
whether you
whether
know
you
them or
know them
not,
or not? Oh, I
because
don't
because
know.
because I'm saying because, and I say that because you're making an assessment on this person that they are ignorant, right? if if you're making that assessment, I'm saying that then you should inform them.
Okay,
If
so guys, so do this.
if you're really making an assessment that this person is a dummy, then they don't deserve any information, right? They deserve your ass to kiss, right? Um,
No, 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 because no, 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 that's moving the goalpost. No, we're correcting them. We're correcting them. We're saying we're challenging their knowledge. We're saying they ignorant because they do
Right.
because they did something that provoked us to say you fucking stupid, or
That they are ignorant.
you know what
What
I'm
the hell are
saying?
you talking about? Yeah.
But like, oh, that's wrong,
that's
oh,
that's wrong. You should
because
do
it
it like
could be
this.
somebody that we care about. So it's just like, it's just wrong. And that's why I'm saying you fucking stupid is for like somebody you don't know. So that's why I'm asking for like almost an example, not for somebody that you know, because we see people do ignorant shit all the time that we're not going to offer no knowledge to. That
Exactly.
me and my family, we was in the ice cream parlor, and this dude was in there with his family, right? And this cat was a Donald Trump zealot. I've never met one before in my life until
What did you say? He what?
he was a Donald Trump zealot. He used words like he should be emperor. He should be like like all his words that he was using to talk about Trump were very my emperor type words.
He loved Trump.
He loved Trump. He wanted to
Okay.
engage. He wanted to engage me in conversation and find out who I was voting for.
Oh, okay. So then what did
I,
you do?
I made
Wow.
the assessment that he was a dummy.
Hold up, God. Was y'all getting the same type of ice cream or something? Or
No,
why he
Hold
want
up.
to talk to you?
because I was standing behind him with my family, and he was Trump, 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 and those people this and them people that, and he turned around and saw some melanated folks in the same establishment as him, about to spend the same color money as him, and he wanted to engage, and I refused. Right? I didn't think that he was ignorant. You know, I assessed that he was a dummy, not worth any of my time. Right?
Okay.
Right? He was worth being ignored out loud. Right? Um. He was like, "Are you not gonna answer me? Something wrong with your tongue?" Like, man,
Oh no. No, he didn't. Wow.
hey,
Something wrong with your
hey,
tongue.
hey,
Hold
like,
on.
and I'm
Man.
like,
What
like,
happened next?
is it?
You ain't no real Pisces, nigga. You know,
Right,
I had to
like,
get that off, God. I had to get
yeah,
that
nah,
off.
but like
Man,
that's my process. Like,
that
you know,
is
like
crazy.
it just because he didn't want to have a
Is-
conversation with me about
No, he did.
politics.
He just wanted to talk at you about
He
Trump.
sounded like he wanted to get his ass whooped. That's what he
He
sounded like.
definitely wanted to get his ass whooped, and I'm like, yo, man,
Man,
like, and like his lady was with him, right?
crazy.
Oh,
And
hold
and
up.
and I was doing my very best to dismiss him politely, and
Right.
he wasn't getting it. And she started grabbing him and pulling him away, and she
Pulling
like,
him
yo,
away.
he's yeah, because he was like all animated and like he was like, oh, he was a zealot is the best word I got.
Yeah, I get it. I get it. He
All right,
gonna
like
make you like Trump today. You
you
gonna
gonna make
Right.
it,
He's like, you gonna make him.
and, you know, like,
You gonna be a Trumper today.
and for me, it was just easy not to talk to him, right? To keep that. It's like dealing with cops, right?
to not
I
engage, to just
I
not
rather
engage.
I
Yeah.
rather keep my conversation with the police super short, right? I don't want to get into no debate with the police, right? Give me my ticket, or give me my speech, or give me my ticket and my speech, like whatever. I just want to
Yeah.
get out of here, right?
Yeah,
Like,
it's not about being confrontational. Like
it's not about.
Yeah, no, not at all. Not with him talking like that.
I
No.
got shit to do.
Like,
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? So
I'm
like,
here having a good time with my family. We here to get some ice
Right. That
cream.
too. You're with your
Like,
family. Like,
I'm like, oh, like, man, like you about to ruin my night. Like, you about,
about to
no,
make me catch a
crazy.
charge. That's what you
that's what I'm saying. You about to ruin my night. No, thank
for
you.
real.
Right, and then I would be a dummy.
Exactly. Then you would be ignorance.
Ignorant.
Exemplified, personified for
Right, that
real.
would be
Ignorant.
willful. That would be an example of willful ignorance because I knew better, and I chose to engage with a dummy.
Crazy, man.
So yeah, sis,
Crazy,
I
God.
makes judgments. I practice discernment, and
Crazy. I can't believe he asked you. Was your
yo,
I know.
mouth
I can't
gonna
believe
work?
he
Like,
was like
wow,
that.
man.
yeah, and like he got some words, but it was
Cat
my
got the
most.
tongue.
I probably would have been in the car like, babe, give me the strawberry cheesecake. You know what I'm saying? Two
No,
scoops in the cup.
nah. Like,
Cause
so
I'm going to the car.
I had thought about that, right? I had thought about that, but he was his movements was so much. He was so erratic and so boisterous and so loud.
That you
Like
couldn't lead a family. See,
nah.
right, right,
Like
okay.
he was the cat that you don't take
Got
your
it.
eyes off, but you don't engage. Right? Like
Let them stand there and do all that barking and shit.
Yeah, right. Like
Right.
it's yeah. You know, and that's what I'm saying, right?
Mm,
So you got to make judgments, right? Like
yeah.
Yeah,
I
that's true.
like
Hmm.
you can't be. You gotta make judgments,
Judgment call. Yeah.
and you can't be scared of somebody thinking that we're being judgmental or whatever. And nah, I am being judgmental
Yeah.
As much as I can be.
as much as I can be. Oh man, that's gonna be a shirt. I am.
I never
Oh
turn
my
the judgmental
goodness.
off.
Yeah, bro, because I love life, man. I'm a lifeaholic, right? And I want to
See.
live. So and I know it's hard, right? It's hard doing it the regular way and just doing regular things. Don't mess around and be ambitious.
Right. And actually have some goals. And be
Right.
willing to
Actually want to do
do the
something.
work to manifest them. Like,
Right. Do the work. Do something
yeah,
about it.
like, don't put it together. Don't be somebody who gonna try to put it together.
Don't be that guy. Don't be that person,
You
right?
know.
Like, don't be the person that's gonna try to solve their problems for real. Or or when somebody talks to you about their problems, you only have solutions because that's how your brain works. Like, don't apologize for that, right? Like I'm saying, don't come talk to me. Like, if you just want to
But
vent, or tell me that.
Yeah, be honest. Be honest
Like,
about it.
tell me you just want to vent. Tell me you just gotta get something off your chest, or you just or whatever, right? Like, tell me you just need me to hear. You just need me to listen, right? Like, be honest with what I need to
mhm.
do here. It's kind of like the family members, right? Like they crazy. I still love them, but I'm gonna love them the way I need to, right? So if you just be honest, we can stay family.
Right. We can stay family. I like that
Wow.
one.
Can stay
We can, yeah, we can at
family.
least do family stuff, you know,
You
like
know, family things,
family
cookouts and whatnot.
and whatnots. Yeah, but other than that, man.
Yeah. But I'm gonna head out, guys.
Jazz, close out.
It was
Would you,
great talking to you guys, discussing ignorance, ignorance,
Ignorant.
right?
ignorance.
Ignorance, and the very, very, um, yeah, that was interesting. But I feel like, I mean, definitely just what I said in the beginning. Um, Everyone can be ignorant about certain things, you know, and you have the power to prevent your own ignorance and whether you want to remain ignorant about something or not. We don't have the power to make anyone not ignorant. We could try to teach them, but it's ultimately up to the individual. And yeah, I feel like I learned a lot, breaking down the ignorance definition. Yeah.
As a
And I
whole,
look forward
as,
as a whole
as a whole,
definition. Yes.
bad, good, or misunderstood.
Yeah. Good, bad, or misunderstood. I would say that ignorant can be misunderstood. It's misunderstood completely. Um, because when people play around, they say you ignorant. Do they really know the meaning of ignorance? Do they really know what it means? They know what they're saying to their friends and people. I don't know. I doubt it. But we do. And we're trying to, teach people and, talk about it, entertain, decipher the word, you know, what people take from it is what they take from it. And, that's what we're here for. But that's definitely a misunderstood word. Um, yeah. I'm going to get out of here. It was lovely. Everybody follow me on social media. I am Jazz Garcelle. And I hope everyone, all the fathers out there had a great Father's Day. And you guys have a great rest of the night. Like us, comment, share our page, connect with me on social media. And you guys have a great evening. Bye, everybody.
Hey,
Peace,
peace,
peace.
Bye.
sis. Yeah, you already know, God. Ignorance is terrible.
Terrible, horrible.
I agree with the sister that people use it incorrectly. Um, uh, but in itself, it is terrible. Um, nah, bro, laziness is not good, right? It is. You got to be productive, man, and you gotta. And the only way to be productive is to be informed, right? And you gotta action that information, and then observe what happened from that, right? You got to see what happened, right? You got to follow the process all the way through. So totally bad for me, all bad.
All bad. I agree. So, we've come to that bittersweet time of the night, of the show, of the conversation. But man, I agree. It's bad. It's bad and misunderstood, definitely.
Yeah.
And like we always say, like, we not the gurus, but if you find something that's beneficial, pick it up. If it's whatever's not, you can leave it right here on the plate, and leave it right here in the cigar, in the ashtray on the Cigarden Panel. But like we always do, we want to thank everybody for joining us this evening. Make sure to like and share the video. Also, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. So when we go live, you never miss an episode of Cigar Sundays Live. Also, don't forget to hit all the links in the description. Check them out. We got some great things for you, some great products. Everything, y'all. What you see plus more, Y'all go and check out all that stuff, music, apparel, and literature. All right. And we want to make sure that y'all come back and check us out next Sunday right here, 8 p.m. Eastern Time on Cigar Sundays Live. Everybody also have a peaceful, positive, and productive start to their week. And we will catch y'all next time right here on Cigar Sundays Live. Peace, God.
Peace, God. Peace. Saying Happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day, God.
This whole publication is all about going from nowhere to somewhere, right? Being able to stand on something so that you can travel in peace, right? So bksoulfarm.com, 1016 160 self-sustainability. Jump on a list and get yourself together, right? Because it is irresponsible to not even know what responsibility means, right? Or what it means for you to be responsible. So get yourself together, food, clothing, and shelter, protection of that, and support your interests and live.
It's such an ancient pitch, but one I wouldn't switch, 'cause there's no nicer witch than you. Slide that line, what's your name, what's your sign? Is your legs tired, you been running through my mind. You be looking fine, your type really hard to find. You like 1 + 9, do you get it, you a dime, And can I get the digits to your line? Redefine love while I'm picking through your mind, trying to see what's your interest. Time we should spend this, turn to real friends before we get down to the business. 'Cause first we need respect and trust and love, Bonnie and Clyde type bind, till death do us. Your friends all mad and mine too, yup. Wishing that they had a real love like us. I've been really trying, baby. Trying to hold back this feeling for so long. And if you feel like I feel, baby, then come on. Oh, come on. Nobody's perfect, but you perfect for me. Anywhere I go with you, feel like the place to be. If I ever got lost, would you wait for me? And if we ain't together, need someone to pray for me. Cause I need you, I would never harm, hurt, mislead you. I just wanna please, feed, tease you. Baby, ain't no need for you to leave. I could give you what you need. Start a life together, plant a couple seeds overseas with you. Yeah. Roll a couple trees with you. If you got a battle, baby girl, I'ma bleed with you. Do your dirty deeds with you. Travel through the breeze with you. Real love is all I need with you.